In the region of Myanmar and northeast India, a people called the descendants of Menashe, or also known as the Bnei Menashe, have kept ancient traditions that point to a startling origin, the lost tribes of Israel. Evidence of the Bnei Menashe's ancient connection with the Jewish people can be seen in the following traditions, which were practiced for centuries in pre-Christian days. Circumcision. There was a traditional practice of circumcision on the 8th day after birth, but was discontinued due to hardships and suppressive decrees during migration. Instead, alternative practices emerged, such as ear piercing or naming ceremonies on the 8th day. A rare phenomenon of boys being born circumcised was celebrated as a sign of ancestral reincarnation, but this tradition has faded under Christian influence. The biblical source for this traditional practice can be found in Genesis 17 verse 7. "And I will establish my covenant between me and between you and between your seed after you throughout their generations as an everlasting covenant, to be to you for a God and to your seed after you." Paschal Lamb. The Bnei Menashe celebrated an annual spring festival, which involved sacrificing a white rooster, eating roasted meat without breaking bones, and performing village-wide sacrifices at an altar to prevent illness and afflictions, similar to the Jewish festival of Passover. As stated in Exodus 12 verse 46, "In one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth out of the flesh abroad out of the house, neither shall thou break a bone." Reincarnation. The Bnei Menashe forefathers believed in reincarnation, turning to the God of heaven and earth in times of trouble. This belief, known as Gilgulim or the reincarnation of souls, is an integral part of both Jewish tradition and Bnei Menashe heritage. Konglo. In ancient Bnei Menashe tradition, known as Konglo, a guy would work in his future father-in-law's house for a period of time up to 4 years to earn his daughter's hand in marriage, especially if the guy couldn't provide a dowry. This can be found in the Bible from Genesis 29 verse 15 to 18. "And Laban said to Yaakov, Because you are my kinsman, should you work for me for free? Tell me what your wages shall be." Yaakov loved Rachel, and he said, "I will work for you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter." Altars. The Bnei Menashe people built altars outside their villages, where priests would make sacrifices and offerings. The altars were square structures with wooden or bamboo poles called horns at each corner, which were smeared with the blood of sacrificial animals. The source to this can also be found in Leviticus for verse 17 to 18. "And the priest shall dip his finger in some of the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord, and he shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar which is before the Lord, that is in the tabernacle." Congregational offering. The pre-Christian Bnei Menashe believed in harmful spirits and forces. To protect against evil, disaster, and illness, village priests performed sacrificial offerings to appease these spirits on behalf of the community, without worshiping them. The biblical source of this tradition can be found in Leviticus 4, verse 13 to 14. "And if the whole congregation of Israel sin through ignorance, and they have done somewhat against any of the commandments, when the sin wherein they have sinned is known, then the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the tabernacle of the congregation." Lepers. The lepers are placed outside the village and are forbidden to enter the village until they are cured, as written in the Bible in Leviticus 13 verse 46. "All the days the plague is upon him, he shall remain unclean. He is unclean, he shall dwell isolated, his dwelling shall be outside the camp." Sending away a living bird. Once a year, the priest sends away a living fowl or bird into the jungle alive to prevent the village from illness. The biblical source can be found written in Leviticus 14, verse 7. "And he shall sprinkle upon him 7 times to purify him from the leprosy. And he shall pronounce him clean, and he shall send away the living bird into the open field." Garments. The Bnei Menashe had a tradition that strictly prohibited cross-dressing. Additionally, they believed that if a woman touched men's belongings, such as hunting gear, it would bring bad luck to the man if they went out for hunting. The biblical source can be found in Deuteronomy 22, verse 5. "A woman shall not wear that which pertained unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, because whoever does these things is an abomination to God." Dowry. Moher. The bridegroom's family gives an amount of money to the bride's family as a dowry. The price paid by the father of the groom to the father of the bride is called moher in Hebrew. This custom is still practiced by the Bnei Menashe effectively till today. The biblical source can be seen written in Genesis 34, verse 12. Impose upon me a large marriage dowry moher and gifts, and I will give as much as you ask me, but give me the girl. And also can be seen in Exodus 22, verse 15 to 16. If a man seduces a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall provide her with a marriage dowry. And if the father refuses to give her to him in marriage, he shall weigh out money according to the dowry of the virgins. Death and burial. The Bnei Menashe community observes a week-long mourning period for the deceased, where mourners don't work and receive condolences, food, and support from relatives and friends. The Bnei Menashe community observes a 7-day mourning period called Halakha, where they congregate at the mourner's house. The 7th day marks a farewell to the departed soul. This custom remains practiced among the Menashe people in Manipur, despite Christian influence. The biblical source can be found written in Genesis 50, verse 10. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan, and there they mourned with a great wailing. And he made mourning for his father 7 days. War and battle. In case of war and battle, a man is forbidden to participate if he is newly married. The biblical source for this can be seen in Deuteronomy 24, verse 5. When a man takes a new wife, he shall not go out in the army, nor shall he be subjected to anything associated with it. He shall remain free for his home for 1 year and delight his wife, whom he has taken. Inheritance. The oldest son inherits his father's possessions and assume responsibility for the whole family. The biblical source can be found in Deuteronomy 21, verse 16. Then it will be, on the day a man bequeaths his property to his sons, that he should not give the son of the beloved wife birthright precedence over the son of the despised wife, who is the real firstborn son. Levirate marriage. The Bnei Menashe tradition of Zalkan Chunman involves a brother marrying his deceased brother's widow. This custom, still practiced today albeit less strictly, was believed to ensure the deceased brother's soul finds peace. The biblical source can be found in Deuteronomy 25, verse 5. If brothers reside together, and one of them dies childless, the dead man's wife shall not marry an outsider. Her husband's brother must marry her, taking her as wife in a levirate marriage. Additional source can be found in Genesis 38, verse 7 to 8. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her, and rise up seed to thy brother. Another source can be found from the story of Ruth, Ruth chapter 4, verse 5. Then said Boaz, What day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi? Priestly gifts. The priest among the Menashe received the wave breast of the animals sacrificed. The biblical source of this tradition can be found written in Leviticus 7, verse 34. For the breast of waving and the thigh of heaving have I taken of the children of Israel out of their sacrifices of peace offerings, and have given them unto Aharon the priest and unto his sons as a due forever from the children of Israel. As we reflect on the rich and enduring traditions of the Bnei Menashe, it becomes clear that their customs are deeply rooted in the ancient scriptures of the Bible. These practices continue to shape their identity to this day. Their commitment to these time-honored traditions not only honors their heritage, but also strengthens the spiritual bond they share with the broader Jewish community. In many ways, the customs of the Bnei Menashe serve as a living testament to the resilience of their faith and the enduring relevance of the Bible in their daily lives.